This podcast recording is brought to you from the staff and friends of IBSLife.net. Each broadcast contains discussion about matters of health and well-being related to IBS that can affect anyone with the condition.
Hi guys, this is Kevin.
And this is Rick.
And we're with you with a rather special podcast today because we've arrived at one of our destinations that we were talking about, I think it was a prior one to this one, wasn't it? We were going to come up to the Glastonbury tour.
Indeed.
So we are now stood on the top of a hill, middle of nowhere. How are you feeling, Rick?
I had a bit of a panic earlier. I'm a little bit uncomfortable. We're now on the Isle of Avalon. We're standing here looking out over this amazing 360 degree view where we can see everywhere, right from Wales to right across Somerset, and we're stood underneath this massive, imposing, very
tower,
very gothic sort of, looks like part of a church building, which I believe it is, part of a church. Now you may hear some sort of wind noise and stuff because it's very windy up here. The weather's pretty rubbish.
We've got to imagine literally this hill is like a big standout hill in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Which is miles and miles and miles around, as you can see, and we're literally on the top of the world where we are.
So I've got the microphone inside a big sort of muffler thing, so hopefully you're going to be able to hear us okay.
Okay, now the purpose of the email, no, it's not the email, the podcast, the reason why we're doing this is because we're trying to get give Rick's perspective of how he's feeling currently away from his van. Now your van is about, would you say, about a quarter of a mile? We can see it.
Yeah, I can see my van from here, parked down there.
So how did you feel when you started walking up here? Because
walking up, I took 2 Imodium this morning.
So that was your preparation.
That was my preparation. Now, the thing is, I didn't have a very good stomach this morning at all. I was very bunged up, as it were, and so I sort of came out anyway. Now the problem is I've got up to the top here, and a little while ago I was like, oh, I need to go back down. My stomach was saying, no, you need the bathroom, and there's no bathroom up here, and then I'm now starting to get a bit panicky again.
But the thing is, see, we're at the top now, talking about the panic, there's no one around, there's not one person that I can see anywhere around us. So I think the only living thing I can see other than birds is sheep.
Yeah,
you know, that's it, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
The closest human to us really is right down in that town, which is at least a mile away.
Well, there's some workers down on the fields way below us. So
what's bringing the panic about? What's
well, again, it's that same old problem with the unpredictable stomach, and
you're worried about you need to go to the toilet.
Basically, yeah, I'm not so worried about that. I'm worried about needing to go to the bathroom really urgently. Right. And if I do, there's going to be at least 5 to 10 minutes between here and the van, and so that's where the panic sort of sets in.
This is a bloody steep climb, isn't it? We're both walking down. We're literally strapped up in camera equipment. We've got bags, tripods, recording equipment, because we've been out filming as well for some of our other projects that we're doing. Oops, nearly went down. And we're on this huge, great, it was like a cliff edge.
Yeah, there's these kind of concrete steps working all the way down, and stand out the way of these people. There's a very narrow pathway indeed. It's sort of not big enough for 2 people to pass, is it? But yeah, this is kind of one of those pushing the bubble out ventures that we're trying to. Oh, nearly went. I'm the one with the walking boots on as well, and I nearly went there.
Honestly, guys, listen to us here. You could this could be the most interesting podcast we've ever done, because we are walking down a cliff edge. Like I say, strapped to, literally up to our elbows and knees and everything,
and camera
equipment.
Yes, I've got no spare hands. I'm holding the microphone in one hand.
We're balancing ourselves with tripods. That's how we're getting down these staircases.
But I hope I don't go, because it's a very expensive camera to come crashing down on the ground.
The camera, it's your legs and your arms you've got to be worried about.
Oh, they can heal. But no, this was quite an interesting exercise, because
we tried this first time. Tell me about where we got originally. We parked up a bit further away, and we actually walked towards the tour, and then gave up halfway, didn't we?
Got about halfway, yeah, because that was about a mile and a bit away from the tour. We found the official pathway to it. I got about halfway along, and I was a certain distance away from the van, and it was a case of, oh dear, not being near a bathroom, and then the panic started to set in.
So I suppose that's a psychological issue. At the end of the day, when we were at that place, you lost sight of the van, you lost sight of your escape route, your sanctuary. Yeah. Where you are here, even though we are best part of about a quarter of a mile, half a mile away from your van, you can still see it.
It's in the line of sight,
yeah. See it. So even if you're not actually consciously aware of it, subconsciously you know it's right there.
Yeah.
Whereas the other time you couldn't see it, so it's probably brought a bit more of a concern to yourself, and then that helped. That sort of brought about lots of panic and stuff. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know, but all I know is when I was up there, I was having a little bit of a panic there, because, like I say, my stomach was just saying, "You're gonna need the bathroom, Rich. You're gonna need it fairly soon." And then it suddenly went, "Oh no, you don't. No, you don't need it."
It was a typical scenario
typical
that
IBS
sufferers get. Is that you were literally out in the middle of nowhere on the top of a hill. The nearest toilet is literally a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah.
You can't just sort of like just hang your arse over the edge of a cliff edge, can you? Well, I suppose you could. Get locked away from that. Yeah. But honestly, there's no toilet facilities up here, are there?
No, there's no facilities here. But I'll tell you what, though, if you're feeling brave and you get a good stomach day, this is a good place to come and visit.
Stunning view. Be nicer when the weather's better, mate.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make a point coming back in the summer. What I want is to wait until I've got a really good day, because I get good stomach days, and when I know I've got a really good stomach day, then I think I'll head out this way. The problem is it took us 4 hours to get here. So
that's just your driving, reckon. That's your sat nav.
My sat nav sent us off in all sorts of directions, and then we ended up trying to follow the signs for the tour around the town, and it led us to all sorts of different places, but not where we wanted to go.
We think it's the Magic Wiccans or something like that. I reckon they just maybe trapped it so you can't get to it. It's like a trial. You have to be worthy to reach the top of the tour. So after a good long trek today, you finally overcome your fears and all your concerns, and you got to the touch, and you touched it.
And we've been through the labyrinth of roads trying to find the place, but I've stored it in the memory of the sat nav now, so we should find it no problem next time.
That's cheating.
Anyway, we're going off the subject here, but yeah, been a very kind of almost like we were going to record me having a panic attack, but the thing is, other IBS sufferers might be familiar with this, but as you kind of come out of the danger zone, and we haven't got long, I'd say another 3 or 4 minutes away from the van, I can see it getting nearer, the panic dies away, and then all of a sudden you get to the van, you think, what was all that fuss about?
Yeah.
But that is a atypical IBS panic attack when you're out there. That's one of my that's my life basically. So I'm sort of ball and chain to this van, but it's great the fact that I've got bathroom facilities on board the van, and I would absolutely recommend anybody with IBS issues to consider putting some sort of facilities in their vehicle, because it makes all the difference. If I didn't have the van,
that is unless of course you've got a bicycle, then you're pretty stuck, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could get inventive.
Of course, like I said, necessity is the mother of invention, isn't it?
Well, I suppose.
Creative.
But
on the side, I suppose.
All I can say is, if I didn't have the van and the facility, if I just had a car, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it out here today. So
to sum it up then, Rick, we've tackled one of the concerns you had, getting up to the top of the hill. When we were driving out here, you were worried you might get here halfway and think, I can't do it anymore. I can't get up to the top. And actually, the first time when I didn't think you would do it. But you've done it. You went up to the top of the hill. It's like a big iconic symbol as well, isn't it? You actually climbed up Glastonbury Tour, and then
I think we took a photograph. We'll put a photograph on the webcast on the web page.
A couple of photographs actually.
Of the Glastonbury Tour. But basically, if you're a hippie, a bit like me, I've got a bit of a secret hippie in me. This is kind of like a pilgrimage for all hippies, because it's known as a thin place, and it's where
isn't King Arthur supposed to be buried here?
I think King Arthur was miraculously healed here, but also Guinevere, his wife, was supposed to have been kidnapped. Yeah, eventually she became his wife, because she was according to the BBC TV series, she was a serving girl, but apparently she was kidnapped here, and there have been sightings of ghosts with sort of apparitions that are said to be Guinevere, and they were kind of like had this gold shimmering light around them. That was quite interesting.
Sure, it's just all the mushrooms all the hippies been having to get
who knows
journeys.
But anyway, this place is definitely worth a look, and it's called the Isle of Avalon, and it's supposed to, there's all sorts of legends, loads of legends surrounding it, one of which it's supposed to be a remnant of Atlantis, or the Atlantean people. I'm not quite sure how that ties in. I need to go away and do some more research on it, but it's steeped in history.
These fields, do you think this is where they put the when you have the Glastonbury Festival? Would you reckon
No, I'm sure it's miles away. I'm not sure where the Glastonbury thing is, but they wouldn't hold it here. I mean, it would absolutely kill the monument, wouldn't it? With all those people, you look at all that mud and everything. But I know it's in Glastonbury somewhere, but it's probably not anything to do with the tour here.
Okay, so we've now arrived back at the van. Walked a quarter of a mile down the thing. How are you feeling? A bit better?
Much better, yeah.
Yeah, it's calmed down now.
Yeah.
So we're now going to drive into the town, have a look around, get a bite to eat, I expect. And then
may have a look at the abbey as well. There's an abbey here.
Oh, of course we can, yeah. Look at that.
That's supposed to be ruined and haunted and all the rest of it. So
yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
So it's all good. One other thing, we've been getting lots of questions once again from our question submission forms on the podcast page. Keep them coming. We're going to get some more answers, or some of our answer session. We get Sian with us together.
Yeah.
She's currently at home. Don't know what she's doing today.
Yeah, Sian would have loved it here.
She would love this is Sian. Exactly. She's into her Lord of the Rings, and all of her fantasy stuff. So she's been here looking for the fairies, I'm guessing.
Because she's sort of so housebound with IBS as well.
She's the worst case. Out of all of us, she's got her problems where she does not go anywhere. Yeah. Really.
Well, there's a sort of whole combination there, isn't there? You've got social phobia and stuff as well. But that's a whole other podcast.
There's a whole dimension.
Podcast.
Yeah. In fact, that could be another podcast. We actually drag her out here.
She'd be kicking and screaming.
That'd be a lot of bleeping in that, wouldn't it? A lot of swearing, a lot of bleeping. Ambulance sounds and that. Police cars and everything.
And on that note,
you better go. Yeah, thank you for listening, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye. IBSLife.net. Created for people with IBS by people with IBS.